Donald Trump has been leading Joe Biden in almost every recent poll, up as much as +8 and averaging +1.1. In fact, political bettors view that Donald Trump has a 44% chance of winning this election compared to Biden's 39.6% chance. With Donald Trump's lead, it's important to note what states he may win and how he can actually win this election. With that being said, no state's decisions will go untold, and I will look at the political polling averages in every state and determine which states will go for which candidate. I will do this for all 50 United States as well as the District of Columbia. So we're going to start from the West Coast and we're going to go to the East Coast. And naturally, we will start with Washington. So the state of Washington does go to the Democratic Party, extremely often going to Biden and Hillary Clinton in their presidential elections, and will go to Biden likely by double digits as it's +11 in this recent poll from Echelon Insights, so it will be a safely Democratic state. Next, we'll go to Oregon, and Oregon is up even more than Washington, as Oregon has Portland and many other Democratic strongholds, with even the eastern side of Oregon wanting to go to Idaho because they view that their politics don't align with Western Oregon and the major cities in Oregon. So Oregon will also be safely Democratic, going to Joe Biden by double digits. Next, we'll go to California. I think we all know where this is going to go. And yeah, Joe Biden is up +19 in this recent poll. California, again, is safely Democratic. Now we will have likely our first Republican victory in Alaska. And even though Alaska has narrowed up, Trump is up +12 in the most recent poll in that state. And we'll have Hawaii, which is the most western U.S. state, actually in the Pacific Ocean, and the only state to be fully an island state, also going to the Democratic Party, with Biden up. This is from 2020. There have been no polls for 2024, and that's because Hawaii is one of the most safely Democratic states, so there doesn't need to be any polls. Biden was up +34 in polls back in 2020, and he's going to win in Hawaii in 2024. So now we have our first state that will not be a safe state, and it's Nevada, which is a swing state, and this will take us to the polls from 2020, but we want to go to 2024, where Trump is up +4. So that classifies it not in the safe column, not in the close column, but in the lean column. And this is because Nevada is a swing state. It did go to Biden back in 2020, but it might go to Donald Trump, and polling suggests that it likely will go to Donald Trump in 2024. Next, we have Idaho. We know where this is going to go. Idaho is up +29 for Trump in this poll, easily a safe state for Donald Trump. Next, we have Utah. Utah may surprise some people, especially with Evan McMullin running back in 2016, but ran in the 2022 Senate race. Utah will go to Trump, and it is +8 in this poll. So not a safe state, but almost a safe state. And next, we have Arizona, which will be our next actual swing state. Trump up +3, pretty similar to Nevada. Arizona, not a safe state, but in the lean column along with Nevada. And next, we have Montana. So Montana actually has Democratic Senator John Tester, and Montana is up +20 for Trump despite this fact. And as you can see, Kennedy has a pretty marginal impact on this, with Trump still up +20 against Joe Biden with that safe state. Wyoming is known as a Republican stronghold and the smallest state in the union by population, but it's up +53 for Trump, which is probably going to be our biggest Trump victory of this polling and this election cycle. Next, we have Colorado. Colorado was recently a swing state, but may not be a swing state anymore. Last time it was a swing state was like 2012 with Romney and Obama. But now it's polling for Biden +10, and actually in the safe state column. So next we have New Mexico. New Mexico was once a swing state too, and had Governor Gary Johnson, who actually ran as a libertarian back in 2016, but right now is going for Biden by +8 in this poll. It's not a safe state, but it might as well be. Next, we have North Dakota with famed Governor Doug Burgum. All the Burgum bros out here, make sure to comment your support for him. So we have North Dakota with Trump up +37, so that's easily a safe state. South Dakota with Governor Kristi Noem. Noem is actually seen as a potential VP pick for Donald Trump. And South Dakota, not South Carolina, South Dakota, Trump +29, another safe state. Nebraska, even though Nebraska's districts don't really have much polling as they're each one electoral vote, I will just give them to the candidate who will likely win them. Trump's going to win the first and the third, and Biden is likely going to win the second. And for Maine, I'll do the same thing. Biden on Maine is likely going to win the first, but Trump will likely win the second. Don't get this confused. Even though the Maine 2nd District takes up most of Maine's population is actually in the 1st. So we'll probably see Joe Biden winning in the poll in Maine, but we'll see that once we actually get to Maine. But right now we're on Nebraska. Nebraska, another pretty safely Trump state, with Trump up plus 18 in the state. So Nebraska is going to go to Donald Trump. And then we have Kansas. So Kansas actually voted blue on an abortion initiative, but will still go to Donald Trump safely, as it was plus 16. Oklahoma, another Trump state, another state where Trump-backed candidates have been winning recently. Trump plus 28, as we see there. Texas was viewed as a swing state and is viewed by some as a swing state, controversially viewed by me as a swing state. But some people disagree with that, and the polling also disagrees. Kennedy putting up a pretty strong showing, but Trump still up plus 12 in that double-digit margin. What's interesting is that Texas and Alaska are seen as less close by the polling than states such as Utah. But Utah has Mitt Romney as a senator, is known for more moderate base, and is ultimately driven a lot by the Mormon religion, that it has a strong presence in that state. So now we have Minnesota. So Minnesota is polling plus 8 for Biden, not a safely Biden state, but might as well be. And next we have Iowa. Iowa was viewed by some as a swing state too, but not by the polling. Trump plus 15, again, another safe state. Missouri with Senator Josh Hawley. I doubt that this state will go to the Democratic Party. Yup, the polling suggests plus 18 for Donald Trump. Arkansas, which had Governor Bill Clinton back in the day, but has been going to Donald Trump and Republican Party with Sarah Huckabee Sanders as governor. Trump plus 32. Those days are over for the Democratic Party, with Arkansas as a safely Republican state for the Republican Party nowadays. Louisiana with Speaker of the House Mike Johnson, who backs Donald Trump and Donald Trump backs him, with Trump up plus 15 in that state, safely Republican. Wisconsin, going to be another swing state, but Wisconsin actually is even. So I'm going to go to the next best poll, which has Biden plus 1 in that state. So that state is hardly going to Joe Biden, but yet it is, with Trump at 131 votes and Biden at 115. This election is looking to be extremely close. But now we have Illinois, likely a big electoral victory for Joe Biden, with Biden up plus 10. He wins those 19 votes. Now I'm going to go to Kentucky. Kentucky with Democratic Governor Andy Beshear, recently voted upon back in 2023 against Trump-backed candidate David Cameron. But Trump is up plus 28 in that state, and it is safely a Republican state. Tennessee. Now we have another Trump state, with Trump up plus 25, slightly less than that of Kentucky, but nobody is worried about either of those states. Kentucky has Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, former Majority Leader, who has backed Trump, but there's been a slight rift in the recent years, but it'll still go to Donald Trump. Mississippi, another Trump state, voted for Governor Tate Reeves back in 2023, as well as 2019, with Trump up plus 18. Trump actually outperforming DeSantis in this state. Now we have Michigan, another swing state, but Trump is winning in this state with plus 3. One important thing to note is the uncommitted movement in Michigan, which is encouraging people to not vote for Joe Biden due to his policies in Israel. Trump has remained relatively silent on the Gaza issue, mostly because he is not actually the president, so he doesn't really need to say anything, as whatever he says is going to cause a massive amount of people to go against him one way or another. So Michigan, that goes to Donald Trump, but not by much, similar amount as Nevada and Arizona. Indiana, state of former Vice President Mike Pence, who Trump no longer likes, but Trump is still up even after ditching Pence. And now we have Alabama, home of Senator Katie Britt, who had an underperformance on the State of the Union response, but Trump is still up plus 20 in that state. Now we have Florida, Trump's home state, and the home state of two potential VP picks, Marco Rubio and Byron Donalds. Florida was seen as a swing state and was the deciding factor by only a few hundred votes back in the 2000 election, but is up plus 7 for Donald Trump. It's been going more and more Republican, but it doesn't hit that plus 10 to be a safe state. Next, we have Ohio, home of J.D. Vance, as well as Bernie Moreno, who had a huge victory against Matt Dolan, a more moderate Republican, and showed that Trump's influence in the primary elections especially maintains to this day. So in Ohio, we can see that Trump is up plus 11, making it a safe state now, even though the Senate race is determined to be close between Senator Sherrod Brown as well as Bernie Moreno. Next, we have West Virginia with Senator Joe Manchin, but West Virginia is actually one of the safest Republican states, up Trump plus 37 in that state. Now we have Georgia. Georgia is the home of 2 Democratic senators, but Republican Governor Brian Kemp. Georgia was contested back in 2020 and will likely have a close result in 2024, with Trump up +1 in the most recent poll. Now we have South Carolina, home of Nikki Haley, main opposition to Donald Trump in the primary, and Trump possible VP pick Tim Scott, but Trump holds the state +14, making it a safe state. Right now, Trump is only 3 votes away from sealing this election, with 267 votes to Biden's 134. So, to make this more interesting, I'm going to go to the Northeast with Maine's at-large. So Maine's at-large, despite Maine having Republican Senator Susan Collins, Maine's at-large is going to Donald Trump +6. This is the first one that has actually surprised me. Pan Atlantic Research projects that +6 to Donald Trump has Maine's first going to Joe Biden, but Maine at-large going to Donald Trump. So this is actually a major victory for the Donald Trump camp, making it seem like Maine can actually be a swing state in this cycle. So Maine actually is going to Donald Trump, and now it's 269 to 134. Trump just needs one more vote to seal the deal, and will he get it from New Hampshire? He will not. He will not, as he's down by 3 points in New Hampshire to Joe Biden, making it a close state, but no cigar. Kennedy has 12% in that state, making a significant difference between who is winning in that state. Now we have Vermont, home of Bernie Sanders. We know where this is going to go. And yes, it's going to Biden by +31. Now we have Massachusetts, home of Elizabeth Warren. And she actually is extremely against Donald Trump. Donald Trump has some nicknames for her, as he has nicknames for many people. And they do not like each other whatsoever, and that is expressed in the polling, with Massachusetts up +25 for Joe Biden. Now we have the state of Rhode Island, really small on a map, but carries 4 electoral votes, up Biden +17. Now we have Connecticut. So Biden is picking up all these little states and actually getting up to 156 votes, and now we'll see with Connecticut, he will pick up another 7 votes, and it is up +9 for him, and he's looking to pick up the +28 votes in New York. Elise Stefanik, potential VP pick for Trump, is from New York. New York has been getting closer and closer in the House races, but in the statewide election results, as well as this election, Biden is up +10. Kennedy putting up 13 in that election, but Biden up +10. He's narrowing it 191 to 269. And now we have New Jersey. So New Jersey, Chris Christie was governor. Now Chris Christie doesn't like Trump. So even the Republicans in New Jersey don't like Trump. But I may be wrong, with Trump pulling 36% in New Jersey, according to this Emerson College poll. So what's going on? This election, in even states that are viewed as safely Republican states, the polling shows that Donald Trump may stand a chance in them, with New Jersey only by 5% going to Joe Biden. Now we have Pennsylvania, so one of the tri-state area and the closest out of the tri-state area. Mehmet Oz falling flat back in 2022, and Donald Trump falling flat in 2024, down by 2 percentage points to Joe Biden. So now we have Delaware. So Delaware, home state of Joe Biden. It's obvious where this is going to land, and they're actually, like Hawaii, there's no polls because it's so obvious that it's going to Joe Biden, those 3 electoral votes. So Biden's clawing back 227 to 269. Will Trump make a victory in Maryland? like Larry Hogan might in the Senate race? Obviously not. He's down 15 points in Maryland, the safely Democratic state. But will he win in Virginia? Virginia having Republican governor and Trump ally Glenn Youngkin. Will Trump pull it out in Virginia? No, he will not. Virginia +6 for Joe Biden. North Carolina. Will Trump win in the state of North Carolina? We will see. Will he win the 16 electoral votes to pull him over the edge? Biden catching up 250 to 269. Well, first we're going to do DC. We know where DC is going to land. DC puts Joe Biden up +85 back in 2020 and similar amounts in 2024. So actually, even though Donald Trump has these states such as New Jersey, such as New Hampshire, such as Virginia, where he is pulling back the votes, where he is making it seem like those states which were never competitive for Donald Trump are actually now becoming competitive. Even though he is doing that, the election is still extremely close, with it falling on North Carolina. If Biden wins in North Carolina, the race goes to the United States House of Representatives, as it would be a tied election, tied electoral count. Will that happen, or will Trump win in North Carolina? My bet is yes, Trump will win in North Carolina, and we will see through these polls. He will. He's up +6 in North Carolina, not in Virginia, in North Carolina, making it so that he wins 285 to 253 according to the polls. So if you agree with the polls, write down in the comments. If you disagree with the polls, write down in the comments. Tell me what election predictions you want me to do next. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed this video, and thank you.